I just learned something about fresh air. I learned that if you don't have windows, that you end up producing carbonic acid as you breathe and exhale. And so if it doesn't have anywhere to go, it just sits in the air. And then you end up breathing that back in. And so you're effectively poisoning yourself slowly. Which would make sense why I have such a hard time sleeping, why I have such a hard time recovering and healing, is that, the room that I have doesn't have any windows. It's dark, and it's a nice little cave for me, but it's not a good place to sleep. I've always known that, not waking up to sunlight is something that has always bothered me. I used to have that as a kid, and it would be the most pleasant experience in my days, is waking up to the sun softly grazing upon me, and it would be such a pleasant way to wake up. I don't have that anymore. I have alarm on my phone. I never enjoy waking up, ever. I don't recall one time I enjoyed waking up. Not even for the days that I was most excited for. I still didn't even, and I mean, I'm not really trying to dwell in my sadness about that. It's just something that I felt inside of me that I needed to bring out. I needed to heal that part of me really badly. And I didn't know. I was unaware. I didn't know this knowledge until now. And I wish I knew it. I wish I knew it sooner. But actually, another thing I was going to say, that sort of touched on what I was originally trying to say, was that although I have a good attitude about life, I don't really think I need to explain any further. I think you kind of know where that's going. But it doesn't necessarily mean that life is good. For me, it honestly, more often than not, is opposite. I mean, it doesn't mean that, in the sense that life is bad, that I have a bad attitude about life. If you have a bad attitude about life, life's probably pretty bad also. But I see that a lot with, like, spoiled kids that have a lot of money and all this and that, and they get everything that they want. And then as soon as they don't get something they want, even if it's something stupid that they don't need at all, it ruins it for like a whole week of their life. And, woe is them. But, we have to go through this hard lesson over and over again that, these things aren't, earned as much as they should be. And we should be very grateful for everything that we have, because not too long ago, they'd be shocked to see how much we really have. Like, I'm capable of making this video right now. That would blow people's minds. 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, it doesn't seem like much right now, but it sure is. So, I'm not saying just because I got a smile on my face doesn't mean, you should focus on that negative. I think there is kind of part of me that wants some sort of validation that, hey, you're doing good, but it almost kind of ruins it because it's like, damn, like I had to go through a lot of stuff just for that. And it wasn't, it's like, dang. Clearly, I'm not doing so great, really, if that's the case. But honestly, I'll take that because, man, there's so many things in this world that bring you down, and you keep fighting, and you keep handling all these things that most other people don't, and they don't really care, and they just want to be selfish and rule the world for themselves. They don't really care about other people. It's generally the people that don't have anything that are most generous, and it's the people that have everything that are the most greedy. Pretty much every single time. Every time. I wish the world wasn't like that. I wish there was more generous people in this world that, saw. I don't want to sit here and be like, that saw people like me that are continuously fighting through these things and handling it somehow. Deep down inside, I do feel like I'm worthy. More worthy than a lot of people. Than most people. Because of that quality that I have in me. It's not the size of the dog. It's the size of the fight in the dog. You know what I mean? It's, just because I can't beat you up, or just because maybe I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, obviously. The sentence spoke for itself there. Fumbling my words. But I've got that work ethic. I'm not going to quit. Even if I quit and remove myself from a toxic situation that's messing me up, that is preventing me from giving you the work that you want so badly from me, I'm going to remove myself from that situation as sort of a timeout. I'm going to put you in timeout, put my boss in timeout. There's very few people that have the balls to do that. That I will take a hit to show you that you need to give me rest, you need to give me a little bit more of what I deserve. I know there's not infinite money in the world. It's not that easy to come by, and I'm somewhat willing to take a little bit less than my worth. And again, I think that is another quality that, maybe you should give me a little bit more if I'm more willing to do that than most people. And if you do that, you're going to see that workmanship. You're going to see me excited to go to work every single day. You're going to see me giving you that work that you want. To keep this ship afloat. You're hypocritical if you don't do that. If you give me just the minimum for me to stay, you're gonna get the minimum of my work. And not only is that bad for you, that's bad on me, that's bad on everybody. And I don't want to sit here and scold people. I don't like doing that. So that's why I went off on my own, so that I don't have to deal with other people, not disappointing me. I can handle disappointment because I know how to, kind of say, hey, what can we do to do a little bit better, rather than, this is just how it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. And we're going to try to ignore the fact that this person's not getting what they deserve for the work that they're doing. And it's just something that I keep circling back to, and it's a vicious cycle, and it's like, I got to remove myself from that situation. And a lot of people didn't like it. My family didn't really like it because now I'm in the hole. I have no money. I don't even have a working vehicle. But I got sober and, exercising again. I'm focusing on, healing and improving myself, bettering myself. And I started a company. I no longer want to kill myself. That's a big one that I don't think a lot of people really understand how big it is. It's only been a couple months now, so it's probably hard for some people to see how far I've come in such a short time. And that's just now. I mean, imagine where I'm gonna be in a year's time, or a month, or 2 months from now, just a couple months from now. Give it some time, time. You know what I mean? Little by little. It's not like you can have it all now. That's the hardest part. What I'm facing now is that I am in the hole, and I want jobs, and I can't force people to say, hey, let me paint your house. I can't do that, of course. I have to wait for them to come to me. That's the hardest part about this whole thing, is that how do I clean up my image so that people like me, when in reality that image does not matter? And in fact, if I have a squeaky clean image, I'm probably not going to give you good work. It's not actually reflective of the good work that you want. Pretty much everybody doesn't understand that. I'm not saying the dirtier you are, the better work you do. That's not how that equates. But I think there is a certain degree of, not even really a certain degree, it's just, you can't be afraid to get a little bit dirty, get a little bit of paint on your clothes, and do that hard work to make it 100%. You can't, I mean, you can sit there and waste all the time in the world trying to do everything squeaky clean, but that's not going to get you there, But I gotta get back to it, so.